from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good evening. I am Forecaster John Bordash, still with you here in the JB Weather Center, continuing to track all of the latest with the storms that are moving through the region. We do have a brand new tornado warning in effect for the Annapolis area here in Anne Arundel County, and this will be going until about 6:45 this evening. Let me go ahead and get to the latest information here on this tornado warning, and we've actually earlier had a tornado warning just north of Annapolis that has now since been allowed to expire. But fresh new tornado warning for east central Anne Arundel County until 6:45, so for about the next 19 minutes or so. At 6:22, severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado were located along a line from the Mathogany River down towards Arnold. And this is moving southeast at about 40 miles per hour. This is a radar indicated tornado with radar indicated rotation. And for those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, and windows may occur, and mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed. Just actually, as I read that off, getting a fresh new update from the National Weather Service, continuing the tornado warning here until about 6:45. This storm is currently moving over the Annapolis region. I'm going to go ahead and get you the latest information here on the area we are talking about, the area we are tracking. Let me turn off some of our multiple layers here as we have so much going on in the weather world today. I'll even turn off the severe thunderstorm warning, and it's really this area here shaded in pink along in Annapolis, Hillsmire Shores, Edgewater, just north of Shelby on the Bay, on over towards the Bay Bridge. It's this region that is under that tornado warning here for the next little bit through about 6:45. I do want to add one layer on here and get the latest velocity data we have coming in from the National Weather Service. When we look at velocity data, it's a version of radar that doesn't just show us rain, but this version and this product actually shows us wind and in what direction we have winds moving and how fast they may be moving. And where we have, reds, that's wind moving away from the radar, greens wind moving towards the radar. And I'm not actually seeing a whole bunch of rotation with this storm, and this is kind of the thing. I haven't been seeing a lot of rotation with these storms, but there's been just enough, where you could definitely get a funnel cloud or a quick touchdown tornado. And what we're seeing would potentially be this small little couplet here just north of Annapolis, kind of right here near 301, just moving just north of the downtown area, headed towards the Bay. And with the latest radar scan, it definitely looks like that might actually now be pushing out towards the Bay. And then we have a couple more couplets just to the north here. This would be over the open Bay. And to give you a visual representation of what this would look like, this would be winds generally, wrong direction there, moving away from the radar like this, and winds moving towards the radar a little bit like that. So I get you an idea of some of that, what that rotation might be looking like. It's much easier to spin something up like a water spout over the Bay versus on land where you have less friction. But we are seeing some version of this throughout the Bay, kind of right up through here. We saw a cell move from southern Calvert County on over towards the Bay, now towards Dorchester County, about a half hour ago. And we've been seeing, several tornado warnings across the area. If I clear all of this, you can just see where all of these tornado warnings currently are across the region, extending from the Newark area now with a fresh new tornado warning for Spotsylvania County, just south of Fredericksburg until 7 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and get you that information for the Spotsylvania County area. I'll also get you some of those other weather warnings we have in effect, and you can just see all of the lightning. We have almost 4,000 strikes of lightning across the area this evening. Let's zoom on down towards the Fredericksburg area. They'll get you the latest information on this storm. We've been tracking for honestly a couple of hours now with rotation. This is a fresh new tornado warning in effect for portions of Spotsylvania County. This is just south of Fredericksburg until 7 o'clock. At 6:28 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Spotsylvania or near Fredericksburg and moving southeast at about 25 miles per hour. The tornado seems to be more of radar indicated rotation for the current time being. And for those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, and windows may definitely occur. Mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed. And this is going to be moving through northern portions of Spotsylvania County here. See if we can get any town names that pop up here just south of 5 Mile Fork. Let's see, can we get spatial tools? Get some road names even through here. I'm not sure we're gonna get very many out. Actually, I don't even think I have Spotsylvania loaded in the system. But I mean, we're talking, US 17, I-95 on over towards US Highway 1, just south here of Fredericksburg. And if I get you a look at that latest rotation detection with this drone, let's bring that up. You can definitely see where we have some tight rotation here. Yeah, that is. See where that really looks to be, and this is a really good example here of what, when we talk rotation, what that actually looks like, right? Where we have winds moving away from the radar, it's looking like that with that red, and then when we talk with the green, winds towards the radar, in a fashion more like that. So you can see very clearly where that rotation would be moving just south of Fredericksburg. So you are not in this warning, Fredericksburg, or anyone in Southern Maryland. However, this does show you really where we're looking at that potential for rotation just south of the Fredericksburg area. But again, that is not the only game in town. There's also a cell I've been tracking out here west of Culpeper that has not gotten a tornado warning on it, but over the last hour or so has definitely been pulsing upwards with some rotation, then pulse down, pulse back up as summertime thunderstorms tend to do. Coming back up north here, though, it does seem like the tornado threat, I mean, the National Weather Service is really continuing this just for a small sliver there of coastal Anne Arundel County. It really does, at least to me, appear that this is moving out on over towards the open bay for Anne Arundel County. Fresh new severe thunderstorm warning coming in, though, now for parts of southern parts of Anne Arundel County. Lothian, Shadyside, Upper Marlboro, Harwood. This would be coming in for you. Let's get the latest here on that. Severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Anne Arundel County and east central Prince George's County until 7:30. At 6:32, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near South River to near Upper Marlboro and moving east at about 40 miles per hour. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts are the primary threat here detected by radar. Damaging winds with these thunderstorms will cause some trees and large branches to fall, and this could enter those outdoors as well as damage homes and vehicles. Roadways may become blocked by downed trees, and localized power outages with these thunderstorms will be possible. Locations impacted include, but are definitely not limited to, Bowie, Annapolis, Forestville, Largo, Mayo, Shadyside, Deal, Upper Marlboro, South River, FedEx Field, Road River, Parole, Keeterling, Walker Mill, Mitchellville, Lake Arbor, Woodmer, Londontown, and Glendale. National Weather Service is not talking about any potential rotation with this storm, which is good. It really does seem like once these storms begin to interact more with that bay, that's when we start to see that rotation start to ramp up. You do see we have severe thunderstorm warnings as well as tornado warnings in effect for parts of the eastern shore just south of Chestertown until 6:45. So about the next 10 minutes, we also have another tornado warning in effect just northwest of Wilmington through parts of Chester County in Pennsylvania, and that's going to be going until 6:45 as well. So the radar picture this evening is definitely turning active. We will see, again, this gap here between Washington and Fredericksburg, if that's able to fill in with activity. I mean, we see that there is one smaller storm that is kind of fired up here over the Waldorf area that's now pushed on over towards Brandywine, Baden, headed towards the Patuxent River. So Lower Marlboro, Dunkirk, Cheneyville, be on the lookout for that over the next 10 to 15 minutes as that pushes here to the north and east. No rotation indicated with that. At least I wouldn't expect there to be with this. Yeah, not just yet. But down to the south, again, we are looking at that tornado warning just south of Fredericksburg with that cell pushing right over US Highway 1 and I-95 south of Fredericksburg in Spotsylvania County. And we are also tracking those tornado warnings in effect for the Annapolis area for about the next 10 minutes or so. To me, it looks like the rotation has really pushed offshore with what we're seeing. Yeah, any bit of rotation. I mean, just off of Hillsmire Shores potentially looking at that. But right now you're just looking at the damaging wind threat pushing through Arnold, just moved through Crownsville into Annapolis. Maybe we're going to be tracking. I mean, I could see this potentially getting a new warning just to the west of Harwood and Lothian. We're seeing a little bit of rotation popping up now here on radar just north of Upper Marlborough. No active tornado warning, but again, we can see where we have that winds moving. And I want to turn off the. There we go. Turn off the road just for a moment. Where we have winds moving towards the radar and away. Again, something that we want to watch just a little bit here, just north of Upper Marlborough. We'll see what comes of it. And it looks like that tornado warning for Annapolis has been allowed to be expired, which is good. I'll get the latest there actually from the National Weather Service on that. See what they're noting with this cell as it moves towards the Bay. The tornado warning for East Central Anne Arundel County is allowed to expire. The storm that prompted the warning has moved out of the area, therefore the warning will be allowed to expire, but that tornado watch remains in effect until 10 o'clock. As it does for the entire region, let me show you what that looks like. And so it's areas there shaded in red that are under that tornado watch until 10 o'clock this evening. That includes all of southern Maryland, Calvert, Charles, Anne Arundel, PG, St. Mary's counties. This also includes the I-95 corridor from Fredericksburg up to Washington, Baltimore, even the Philadelphia and Trenton metro areas, as well as southeast Pennsylvania, northern parts of Maryland, the Delmarva, southern Maryland, and South Jersey. And again, this is where that threat of tornadoes will be, and that is where we've seen several tornado warnings pop up throughout the afternoon and out here going into the evening hours. Getting back on over towards William Richmond Inc. TrueView radar this evening, sitting just about 6:30. We can see kind of where these storms are beginning to really try to fire up. That tornado warning remains in effect for parts of Spotsylvania County, just south of Fredericksburg here until 7 o'clock, so about the next 20 minutes. This will then be threatening parts of Caroline County. The National Weather Service out of Wakefield, Virginia, has already issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Caroline County until 7:15. This includes Central Point, Bowling Green, Port Royal, Guinea. Again, 7:15, and they are noting that potential of a tornado as this cell continues to move to the south and east and may be holding on to those characteristics that we currently see with it. No active warnings here in southern Maryland outside of PG and Anne Arundel counties. We are seeing some pretty nasty storms blow through PG and Anne Arundel right now. Again, that tornado warning up in the Annapolis area has been allowed to expire for the time being. I'm going to see if I can actually get you on over to our dual pane radar. It's a tool I like using. Helps me look at two things at once. There we go. On the left, you'll see where we have traditional radar data. On the right is where we have wind data that radar is able to measure. And it shows both products that I've been talking about kind of at the same time. We can see where the cell is just south of Fredericksburg that we've been tracking with those reds and greens matching up. We actually have a flash flood warning now up for the Washington, D.C. metro area at 6:24. 6:24 Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 0.5 and 1 inches of rain has fallen, and additional amounts up to 2 inches will be possible in that area. So that is important to note. But we can see that tornado warning for the Annapolis area has been allowed to expire. We see where we have these brighter yellows kind of moving through, not matching with any greens, thankfully, but that yellow does denote where we have winds up over 60 miles an hour moving towards the eastern shore. And on the eastern shore, they have a flurry of warnings right now. Tornado warning up for the Centerville area. Reports of a funnel cloud down towards Talbot County near Trape. Multiple reports of a tornado crossing Route 50, so that is important to note. But that is on over towards the eastern shore. Again, when these storms begin to interact a bit with the bay, that's where we can see increased twisting and turnings of the winds. But that is about what we're looking at right now. The tornado watch remains up for the entire region as we head into the afternoon and out of the afternoon and now into the evening hours. It's already 6:30, and you can tell that I'm a teacher on summer break because the concept of time does not seem to exist for me. But we're going to continue to watch all of this. We're under that tornado watch here until 10 o'clock. Again, it is for the I-95 corridor as well as areas to the east, including northern portions of Virginia, southern Maryland, the Delmarva, on over towards the Philadelphia, Baltimore metro areas into South Jersey. No active tornado warnings in our immediate region right now. We do have that tornado warning over Spotsylvania County for about the next 20 minutes or so as that storm begins to move into Caroline County. We're going to watch the storms as they begin to move through parts of PG, Anne Arundel, and getting in now into the northern portions of Calvert County. Lots to watch, lots to monitor, but I'll be here looking at all of it and looking at it, every angle of every storm as it begins to move into the region. Stay safe. Please keep it tuned right here to JB Weather for the latest information. In the meantime, Forecaster John Bordash, have a nice and safe one, and please keep it tuned right here for the latest.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.